Hey everybody, Kira Dynamite here. Hello to each and every one of you out there watching. I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to do a video on Once Upon a Time. You know me. If you've seen my videos, I kind of cut to the chase. I don't do like a lot before I start the actual video. But I just wanted to say hello to everyone who is not subscribed to me. Hi. I wanted to do a video about the Once Upon a Time pilot. The pilot opens up with text, and it's basically giving you a preview of what the show is about. Fairy tale characters going into a new world. But it opens up with this epic prince on a horse, okay? He has this awesome cape, and he's just on his horse, galloping, epic music along the coast of beach. And it's a strong open. The pilot is supposed to catch your attention. It's supposed to draw you in. He finds who? Snow White in her glass casket. My love! You know, the whole Snow White and Prince Charming thing. They have beautiful themes throughout the episode. The first time is a beautiful, I'll try to play it in here.
Please let me say goodbye.
It's just so pretty. I feel like some shows lack with the music department, but I feel like they kind of underestimate how big of an impact that actually has in our brains that's going on with the scene. He says, "I will always find you," and that's what they say to each other on the first episode. And you know, if you haven't seen the, I don't know why I'm acting like Alexis Rose right now. If you haven't seen the whole series, that becomes like a thing. I will always find you, and it's cute, it's sweet. The opening scene is just great. It grabs your attention and it makes you want to come back for more. We have the wedding, okay? He wakes her up, true love's kiss, they have the wedding, and they're having this beautiful moment, and then boom, here comes the evil queen, okay? She's not playing. And her entrance is very strong, and it's letting us know that she's not someone you mess with, and she's going to be a very important character throughout the series. One of my favorite lines, she says, "I've come to give you a gift." Snow White says, "We want nothing from you." And then she says, "Oh, but you shall have it." I was like, and she has a monologue that basically, I want to put it in here, hopefully I can, but she has this monologue where she gives out the threat.
Oh, I haven't come here to ruin anything. On the contrary, dear. I've come to give you a gift. We want nothing from you, but you shall have it. My gift to you is this happy day. But tomorrow my real work begins. You've made your vows, now I make mine. Soon, everything you love, everything all of you love, will be taken from you forever. And out of your suffering will rise my victory. I shall destroy your happiness, if it is the last thing I do.
And this is showing us, like, okay, these two people, of course, Snow White and the Evil Queen, they have a thing that is like tumultuous, Prince Charming too, and they're enemies. But it's very, very strong. And you're trying to figure out, like, you think like it might be the traditional thing, like, oh, she was jealous or whatever. We don't find out yet, but it gives out that mystery, right? This is not the typical story that we're used to. Anna's acting, you can feel the hatred she has for Snow White and Prince Charming. You can feel it through the screen. She's such a great actress. And then we get to the real world. So there's this little boy, he wants a ride from a taxi, we're not sure where he's going, and then it cuts to a scene with a character named Emma. She is on a date, presumably, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, she's on a date, whatever, let's see how this goes. But then as she's questioning this guy, she starts to pull out that I'm actually not on a date, I set him up because he's out for bail and she needs to arrest him. And so you get this like, oh, okay, like, this isn't what I thought it would be. She goes after him and she has a boot on his car, and he makes this remark. She says, you know, you should be like with your family, da da da, and he's like, what would you know about family? Because on the date she did give some information about herself, but it was more for the audience. They were asking about family, and she was like, she doesn't have family. Today's her birthday. She's alone. And so, yeah. So that's how we are introduced to Emma. She's like casually walking towards the guy as he runs out of the restaurant. And the reason why she's so cavalier in catching him in these like 6-inch high heels, his car has a boot on it. There's nowhere for him to go. Emma comes home and she kicks off her heels. She's tired, and she takes out a single cupcake, puts a candle on it, and she says happy birthday to herself. And so we get that this character is alone. She doesn't have friends. She told the guy she's a loner. And we hear a knock at the door. It's the little boy. It's the little boy. His name is Henry, and he's like, I'm your son. And she's like, no, you're not. And he's like, you gave up a little boy 10 years ago. That was me. So of course she's like, bruh. So by now we're trying to figure out what all of the connections are. So Henry is like a little firecracker. He's like, I want you to come home with me. She's like, no, I'm calling the police and you're gonna come get like picked up. And he's like, no, you're not gonna do that. She's like, why? And he's like, because I'll just tell them you kidnapped me. And she's like, and they'll believe you because I'm your birth mother. Smart. So she ends up taking him back. Then we get a flashback back into the Enchanted Forest where Snow and Charming are freaking out. Snow is pregnant. She's like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Regina has like this impending doom for us. What is it? I'm freaking out. And then she's like, I need to talk to him. So automatically there's another question. Who is him? Why is Charming like, no, we shouldn't do that. You know how he is. It's like, what's going on? Another question to keep us pulled in. Snow is like, he knows the future. Like, he can tell us how to prevent this, figure out a solution. So Charming gives in to her and he's like, fine, we'll go see him. So then we cut back to Boston and Henry is talking about the book that he has. It's a fairy tale book and he's talking about it to Emma. Emma's like, it's just a book. I don't understand. He's like, no, it's more than just a book, but I'm not sure you're ready yet for me to tell you actually what's going on. So she's like, this kid is weird about this book. Flashback again to the Enchanted Forest where they're in this dungeon and we get this epic scene. There's like a jail cell and like he flips over to introduce himself and he's like, you know, talking to them closer, and we find out that his name is Rumpelstiltskin. And he is, we don't know exactly what kind of guy this is, but we know that he's feared and that he's powerful. And I love Robert Carlyle's performance. This first scene that he's introduced in, you know, he is just layered. Like, there's something going on with him. It's a huge mystery. And also the makeup that they chose for him is awesome. The wardrobe in this show is amazing, by the way. From Snow and Charming's outfits for their wedding day to the evil queen to Rumpelstiltskin's hair and makeup, everything is just top notch. And you could tell that the people really cared about the aesthetics of the show. Like, it was just really, 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 really good. Like, I want all the evil queen's dresses immediately. But anyway, Charming and Snow are asking all of these questions to Rumpelstiltskin. He tells them that a curse is coming, and he's like, to give you a solution, I want the name of your firstborn. And so Charming is like, forget this. He doesn't need to know anything. He doesn't know anything. He's bluffing.
Safely on its 28th birthday, the child will return. The child will find you. And the final battle will begin!
And we're not going to give him the name of our child. He's like, I gave you the answer. I gave you what you wanted. Give me her name.
Good enough, we're leaving.
Hey! No! We made a deal! I want her name! We had a deal! I need her name! I want her name!
Her. It's a boy.
Missy! Missy! You know I'm right. Tell me, what's her name?
I want her name! And he's like freaking out. And then Snow is like, Emma. His vocal inflection and everything he says is just so amazing. He puts on this larger than life character. So on the way back to Henry's hometown, we find out that he lives in Maine in a town called Storybrooke. And he tells Emma that time is frozen there and that the clock hasn't moved the whole time. So if the clock is stuck at 8:15. And she's just like, yeah, okay, sure. And we meet Dr. Hopper, and she's like, oh, so who's Dr. Hopper? And he's like, that's Jiminy Cricket. And he's like, oh, she's like, oh, okay. Emma learns from Dr. Hopper that Henry is actually the mayor's son. And he's like, you know, Mayor Mills doesn't want you out, da 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 da. And Emma's like, you're the mayor's kid? So she's obviously like, okay, that's gonna be a problem. Another flashback to the Enchanted Forest, where they are trying to find a way to attack the evil queen. And Snow is losing hope. Everyone is just kind of like, you know, they don't know what to do. Grumpy, for one, is like, he wants to fight. So enters the blue fairy, and she comes in with a tree, and she's like, one person can get through this tree, and that's gonna be Snow, and inside of her, the infant. They will escape, and one day they will find us to break the curse. And they're like, sweet. Back to Storybrooke, and Henry is like, my mom doesn't love me, she's evil. And Emma's like, I'm sure that's not true. And so Emma and Regina finally meet. Henry comes up to the house, and Emma's like, hi. Regina's freaking out because she doesn't know where her son was this whole time. She's like, Henry, I need you not to do that again. There's another guy who comes out of the house who is the sheriff, and she's like, would you like to come inside for some apple cider to talk? So they end up having a drink and having just a little discussion, and she's like, you're not going to be a problem, are you? Like, you haven't been here like the last 10 years. Like, I just want to know that, like, we're good. I thought it was like no contact. And she was like, you're correct, like he found me and da da da. So they put that to rest. Emma leaves town. She gets in the car, she's driving, and she sees in her passenger seat Henry left the book. So she's like, oh, he think he's smart. And so she puts her eyes back on the road. She sees a wolf, crashes. Mind you, Henry told her that people can't leave town because something bad will happen. So she's like, what are you talking about? So us as the audience were like, okay, she was leaving, and then all of a sudden, like, she sees a wolf and she crashes after Henry warned her when people try to leave, something bad happens. Flashback to the Enchanted Forest, and Geppetto and Pinocchio are going to carve the tree. They're trying to get it done in time, but of course, guess what? Snow's like, the baby is coming. I'm about to give birth. Geppetto and Pinocchio want a tree, like, trying to get this tree ready so Snow can get in there and, you know, take care of her baby and also have the prophecy fulfilled. The curse is approaching, okay? She's giving birth, she's screaming, ah. Doc, they made him a doc. I mean, I don't know if his name makes him qualified, but he's like, you can't move her. She's gonna give birth. Back to Storybrooke, Maine, okay? And Emma has been arrested for intoxication while driving, and she's like, you know that I was not drunk. I saw a wolf and it distracted me and I got in a car accident. And the sheriff is like, sure, the drinks were stronger than you thought or whatever. And so also Grumpy in this version is a town drunk. So he is arrested for intoxication as well. This is where we're introduced to Snow in this world. Her name is Mary Margaret in Storybrooke, Maine, okay? We find out that Henry is missing again, and Emma's like, I'm a bail bonds person, I can help you find him. She tracks his like credit card use that he used to find her, and it leads back to Mary Margaret Blanchard's credit card. So she's like, who's Mary Margaret? And Regina is like his teacher. And so they go find Mary Margaret and they're asking her questions. She's like, I have no idea. She checks her wallet. She's like, I had no idea, but my credit card is gone. And so Regina is mad, and you can tell because when she leaves, she knocks over a bunch of books, and also she was giving her shade like the whole time. So we still don't know why exactly Regina hates her so much, because like in this version, things are different. We also find out that Mary Margaret is the one that gave Henry the book. Mary Margaret / Snow White gave Henry the book, and that's how he got it. And so Regina is pissed. So Emma and Snow White / Mary Margaret are having a conversation after Regina walks out in a huff. And when they meet, like, Snow White looks at her and she's just like she's like, I know you, but I don't know you. She doesn't say that, but you can tell that she's looking at her like, and so they have a conversation. Flash back, not forward. Flashback, Snow is giving birth. Okay, this baby's coming. They have to say she said she gives birth. She says goodbye to the baby. And she's like, you have to send her through the wardrobe to give her her best chance. She will find us one day. But I can't go through that wardrobe with her. Let me push this baby out real quick. So they say goodbye. And Jennifer's acting as Charming takes the baby to go to put her in the wardrobe is phenomenal. Like, you can, like, the way she screams, you can really feel that, like, Snow White, like, that she's like, that's my baby. I just gave birth to my baby, and now I have to say goodbye to my baby to give her her best chance. Like, this is crazy. Charming got the baby in one hand, all right? He got the sword in the other, and he is going to town. He's fighting the evil queen's guards. This is one of my favorite action scenes in a TV show. The only thing that I needed was blood on a sword, but it's PG. I get it. Even though sometimes the show should be like PG-14. But anyway, I just needed some blood on the swords. That's all I was missing. But he's fighting for his life and fighting for this baby. He gets through the wardrobe, puts Emma in the wardrobe, closes the wardrobe. The guards come in. They're tussling. They stab. First of all, they already got him right here. He's like, but he kept fighting to get Emma in that wardrobe. So after he get her in the wardrobe, why am I talking like I never seen this before? Anyway, after he get her in the wardrobe, like I said, more guards come in. They tussle, and they get him right here, and he's like, he fall out, child. They got him right here, and it was deep too. And so he done passed out and looking at the wardrobe. And the guard opened the wardrobe and the baby done made it. Hallelujah. The baby done made it through the wardrobe. The evil queen can't touch it right now. None of the guards can touch it. So he's looking at the wardrobe on the ground, about to pass out, and he's like, he get a smile on his face like, my baby is saved. And then we go back to the future. Boston. Emma finds Henry at this play castle because Mary Margaret / Snow White gave her the tip that that's where to find him. They have a conversation, and Emma's like, ugh. Because Henry's like, I know why you gave me away. You gave me away to give me my best chance. And she's like, how did you know that? And he's like, because just like in the book, Snow White gave you away to give you your best chance. Oh yeah, he did tell her that she was in the book before when they met. Anyway, and so she's like, that's just a book, kid. I'm not in this book. I'm just a regular girl. Henry, you don't understand. So, flashback. Enchanted Forest. Snow finds Charming, and I don't know why she thought that True Love's kiss could fix a stab wound, but you know what? It's fine. She just had a baby, and very traumatic things is happening. So she was like, Charming, no, Charming. The evil queen finds her, and she's like, gotcha. She's like giving this monologue about like, girl, basically I hate your guts, and I'm taking you somewhere horrible where you won't be happy. Only I'll be happy. And that's how it's gonna be.
Where are we going? Somewhere horrible. Absolutely horrible. place where the only happy ending will be mine.
And she's just so excited. She's reveling in this. She's like, I am so happy that you're gonna be miserable. And Lana Padilla's acting is so good because the way she's acting, you can see the hate, the disdain, the pure hatred, the hatrocity that she has for Snow White and Charming is so strong. Like her face, the smile, it's just so thick. And again, it's raising questions. Why is she doing this? What could possibly have happened? We don't know. We don't know, David. Go back. Emma brings Henry back to Regina. And Regina tells Emma, and she's acting like the evil queen instead of a man. But she's like, I will destroy you. You need to leave and not come back. And so Emma's like, do you love him? And Regina looks back at her and she's like, of course I love him. And the way she slams the door in Emma's face, I felt like it was being slammed on me. I was like, whoa, that's acting too. She, like, the way that she turned around with just like the audacity of this woman to ask me if I love my son, who I raised 10 years, and she told Emma clean off.
Mistake all this as invitation back into his life. Miss Swan, you made a decision 10 years ago. And in the last decade, while you've been... well, who knows what you've been doing. I've changed every diaper, soothed every fever, endured every tantrum. You may have given birth to him, but he is my son. No, you don't get to speak. You don't get to do anything. You gave up that right when you tossed him away. Do you know what a closed adoption is? It's what you asked for. You have no legal right to Henry, and you're going to be held to that. So I suggest you get in your car and you leave this town. Because if you don't, I will destroy you if it is the last thing I do. Goodbye, Miss Swan. Do you love him? Excuse me? Henry. Do you love him? Of course I love him.
Emma was like, but yeah, she told Emma clean off and then she slammed the door in her face. And so Regina finds the book because I think Emma Regina finds the book and she's like in the mirror, looking in the mirror with the book, and she's like, I'm gonna put it side by side. But she's like, and she's just looking so angry. We find out that Charming is in a coma in this world. Because makes sense, he got the stabby. Probably like hit a vital organ. He's in a coma. Snow White comes in to change the flowers in the hospital, and that's what we get. And I believe their theme plays. Dun, 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 dun. Also, Regina has the themes like dun 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 dun. And I also believe Rumple has one. It's like very dark, like a lot of bass. So Henry is looking out the window. The kid, like, oh, sad. He's looking at a clock. Next scene, we meet Granny and Ruby, and it's obvious that this is Red Riding Hood and Granny. She's wearing all red, and they have this in. Emma checks in and she's like, I want to stay for a week, because Henry had asked her just stay for a week, begged her. And then after meeting Regina and having that argument, she was like, bet, you're gonna destroy my life? I'm gonna make sure my bio son is okay. There we meet Mr. Gold, who is Rumpelstiltskin from the Enchanted Forest, and like this doom music starts playing. Granny and Ruby are like very, very intimidated, like, who are you, or something like that. And he's like, Emma, what a lovely name. It's like, snap. So we know, like, does he know something? Like, why is he saying it like that? Why is he saying it like that? And so Emma's like, what's with this guy? Like, and he's like, that's Mr. Gold. He owns the place. And she's like, what, the inn? She's like, no, the town. So we obviously know that Mr. Gold / Rumple is very powerful. person in that world and now in this world, but we don't know why. We get to the next scene, which is the clock, and when she gives Emma the key to the inn, the clock ticks to 8:16. But remember, Henry said it was frozen at 8:15 the whole time he's been there. So Henry's looking out his window and he sees the clock tick back by click by. He sees the clock tick to the next time, 8:16, and he's like, he has a smile on his face because he's like, things are changing. Because he told his mom, he said, "Mom, I have a word for you. You're here. You need to be here to help these people." And she didn't believe Henry, okay? She's very cynical. And I guess, you know what? Would I believe somebody if they came to me and they were like, "You're from a fairy tale book and this is a different dimension and fairy tales are real"? Would I believe them? Probably not. But you know what? Henry is a real one because he's down for the cause and he knows how to get things done, okay? And that's how it ends. It's a lot going on, but the acting is so good, the mystery is so good, and I just keep coming back to it, and I just pretend that I've never seen it before. And every time I notice something different, it's amazing. It's really amazing. Wardrobe, acting, music. Is the visual effects the best? Sometimes I can tell it's green screen. That's okay, it's TV, not a Avatar, $18 billion, or Lord of the Rings, who had $1 billion budget. But it's amazing. And if you haven't seen the show, let me know if you do and what you think. This show has been out for a while. I don't know how many people actually haven't seen it. There's probably a good chunk. And even if you don't like fairy tales, it's just a good mystery. Good action, good storytelling, great acting. It's amazing. It was very, very much giving Jesus. Like an infant will come to save the world. I got y'all's number. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what kind of content you guys would like to see, what TV shows you guys would like me to watch. I do books too, I like reading. Just let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, I don't know what to say. It's kind of awkward. Kire Dynamite out. Bye.